Hey guys, welcome back. In the last lecture, we prevented customers to create refunds if they are providing valid booking ID but trying to create refund for workshops that has already been taken. We also discussed about bugs and errors and know the difference between them. Now, in this lecture, we will define an update action to calculate the refundable amount and a member action where we will redirect customers after the update operation performed. I mean, after the refundable amount calculated successfully. So let's start. First, define an empty update method into the refunds controller. Okay, so for to do that, let's switch to the project directory and open the refunds controller. And in this refund controller, below the create action, we need to define an update action and just keep this update action empty for now. So def update and save this. Now let's define the member action where we will redirect customers after successful update operation. Okay, so below the update action, define that member action. So def refund acceptance. This is the name I am providing here. You can use whatever name you want to provide, but for naming convention, let's provide it refund acceptance. Okay, why? Because if refund amount calculated, then we need to redirect customers to a page to show that their refund request has been accepted successfully and we will process them. Okay, so let's name provide it the name refund acceptance. So def refund acceptance and close it. Okay, now after defining this method, what we need to do that we need to, okay, first let's fix this type of refund acceptance. So after defining this method, what we need to do that we need to define a route for this member action. Okay, so open the routes.rb and into this routes.rb within the refunds resources, we need to define this member action. Okay, so what we can do here, do and okay, since this is the only member action for our refunds controller so far, so we will just use define this member action using on option rather than implementing block for member action. Okay, so what we can do here, get refund acceptance comma on and then member. This on option on member will provide a route for this action as a member action. Okay, and since we have only one member actions, that's why we used on action here to define this member route. Okay, now let's create a view template for this refund acceptance action. Why? Because we have a method and now we will redirect user to this methods, sorry, this action. So we need to define a view template for it. So first save the routes file and then go to the app views refunds. Okay, and inside the app views refunds, what you need to do, you need to define a template view template with refund acceptance dot html dot erb. Okay, so let's do that, refund acceptance dot html dot erb. Okay, and save this. Now let's switch to the refunds controller again, because we need the refund booking and workshop instances in all member actions like update, edit and refund acceptance actions. So we can set a callback to make these instances available before the action perform. So to do this, we need to define a before action callback inside the refunds controller. Okay, so just go to the top of the refunds controller and how we can define our before action callback here. So let's say before action and then set refund with parents. Set refund with parents. Okay, and we need this only for update, edit and refund acceptance. So we will define the on define this callback with only option. So let's do that. So percent I, and here we can provide our method names, so like edit, update and refund acceptance. Okay, save this. And now, since we defined the callback, so we need to implement this callback as a private method inside our refunds controller. So let's define this set refund with parents as a private action. Okay, so first copy this name, refund with parents, and define the private keyword here. So private, and here we need to define our action. Okay, so set refunds with parents. Okay, and how we can define this? So first we need to fetch the refund from the provided ID. Okay, so just copy this like query from the edit and remove this from edit action, and just paste it here. Okay, so we can get at the rate refund equal to refund dot find perms id. Okay, now we can get booking of this refund using refund dot booking method. So what we can do, at the rate booking equal to at the rate refund dot booking. Okay, sorry, and then we can get workshop using the workshop booking workshop. Okay, or booking dot workshop. So what we can define here, at the rate workshop equal to, sorry, workshop equal to at the rate booking dot workshop. So booking dot workshop. Now one can think of that why I am defining these at the rate at the rate, these variables refund, booking, and workshop using at the rate symbol, because these are the instance variable and I need to use these variable values at the view level, so I need to define them using at the rate. Okay. And here I want to recall one more thing, that methods which are not associated with any routes must be defined as the private method inside the controller. Okay, now copy and paste the content of edit.html.erb and paste it into the refund acceptance.html.erb. Okay, so go to the edit template of the refunds. Okay, copy everything from here and just paste it at the refund acceptance. Okay. Okay, so we have pasted it here, and now let's try to use the refund acceptance here. So go to the routes and go to the browser, and what you can replace edit by with refund acceptance. Okay, so refund acceptance. Okay, and now when you submit the URL, or when you hit the refresh the page, you can see that you can see the same form that we are seeing at the edit. Okay, since we don't need the edit entry for the refund form, so we can remove this left hand side column because we don't need form here. Okay, so just keep the information part only, I mean the booking details only, and refresh the page now. Okay, so here you can see that we are only seeing the booking details now. Here you can see that what we were did initially, that refund booking dot workshop dot name. Okay, so to display the workshop name, what we did, refund dot booking dot workshop dot name. And I told you in that lecture that we will remove this long method chaining into the upcoming lecture. So this is the lecture where we gonna remove this. Okay, so here you can see that in refund acceptance controller, what we did, that we implemented the callback set refund with parents. Okay, so what are the parents for refund, that booking and workshop. So what we can do here now, since we have already workshop instance defined in using the callback, so we can remove this. So what we can do here now, link to workshop dot name. Okay, so here you can simply provide the workshop instance. Okay, and that will work. Okay, so save this, and here you can also remove this at the rate refund for total ticket books. What you can use, at the rate booking dot number of tickets, and here what you can use, at the rate booking dot amount paid. Okay, and here you can remove at the rate refund as well, and you can directly use at the rate booking dot created at dot strf time. Okay, and now if you save this, then you will see and refresh the page, then you will see the same output. Okay, and this is the advantage of our callback that we achieved here. Okay, so you can refactor the same portion of the view template on the edit as well. Okay, so copy this thing and open your edit.html.erb and replace the right hand side column 6 using the that we did inside the refund acceptance. Okay, and now if you do the same thing with edit, so let me copy this URL and open it in new tab. Okay, and now if you replace this refund acceptance by edit, then you can still see the same output for the booking details. Okay, now you can see that so far we have these common details like booking for, total tickets booked, amount paid, and all that. So what we can do here, that we can replace this content into the partial, and we can use the same thing at the both using a partial. We do not need to write the similar code on multiple places. Okay, so what we can do here, that we can create a partial, and what name we can provide partial, that at the underscore booking dot details, booking details.html.erb. Okay, and now in this booking.details, what we can provide, we can simply provide this, because we are not replacing this entire Colology 6 or card body or card class, because there will be some extra information that we're gonna add on the refund acceptance, like how many tickets they want to cancel and how many tickets are remaining to be cancelled. Okay, so we will use that information that we don't need on edit page, so that's why I'm just replacing only this portion of the code inside the partial. Okay, so now let's cut this. Okay, and inside this booking.details we can paste it. Okay, and now remove at the rate from everywhere, like remove at the rate from workshop, remove at the rate from booking as well. Okay, because we will pass these variables as locals. Okay, and now what we can do at the line break at the first, sorry, at the last, and now what you can do, that you can render this partial into the both edit template and refund acceptance template. Okay, so open your edit template, and what we can do here, that at the render, and just provide the partial name here. What our partial name is booking details, and then now we need to provide local. So what we can provide here, workshop as at the rate workshop, and booking as at the rate booking, sorry, booking as at the rate booking. Okay, and now save this and refresh your edit page on the browser. Okay, you can see that we are still getting this information, and now we can do the same thing for the refund acceptance path partial template there. So remove this portion and use the same thing and call the same partial here, and then refresh it. Sorry, this is the refund acceptance. Refresh it, and you will see the refund details are still here. Okay, so this is what we need to do. Okay, so what we did in this lecture, that we defined a member action where we will redirect customers after updating their or after calculating their refund eligible amount. Okay, and we defined an empty update method that we gonna implement into the next lecture. Okay, and we saw the uses of callback again, and we see how callbacks are a good thing to refactor our code, and we again see the uses of partial to refactor the view chunks. Okay, and that's all for this lecture. Now in the next lecture we will implement the update action to calculate the refund amount. Meanwhile, let's try this at your end and get your callbacks and member action routing knowledge more better. Okay, so thanks for watching this, and let's meet into the next lecture. Till then, tata, goodbye, take care, and stay safe.